Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back. Welcome to the Virgo channel. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Laura, and this channel is all about healing. I will talk about your soulmate and your twin flame and about your life's path and all that great stuff. But we always look at the traumas because the traumas are the gateway to your spiritual evolution. So if you're someone that has problems maintaining a relationship, having a relationship, creating abundance in your life, you definitely want to join this channel because it's all about integrating your spiritual wounds into spiritual gifts, learning about your spiritual sovereignty. I have another channel for every single zodiac. It's called the Psychic Soul Healer. And I do use these cards also for this channel, but if you're a different zodiac, and you might want to check out that channel. And I also have a speakers channel because I do a TV show every Tuesday night called Rewired. It's all about rewiring and reprogramming your subconscious mind as well as your body because your body is your mind's faithful servant. So you may have cleared certain traumas, but still be seeing the effects manifest within your outer world. And that's mainly because you're holding on to energy. So our spiritual wounds are made up of energy, which is our thoughts, which is made up of astral energy, and our emotions held in the body as stress. So it's again, it's become makes it it makes us then become a magnet of who and what is in alignment with that energy. I would say, why do I keep attracting the same type of person? Or why does this karmic theme keep playing out? We see karmic themes play out over and over and again. They are called karmic loops. Or you may say, I really thought that that person, though I was meant to be with them, they were my soulmate. Well, they could have been your soulmate, but all soulmates come into your life to teach. And even the most painful experiences, in fact, the most painful experiences grow us even more spiritually. And so you may say, grow spiritually. What does that mean? Well, evolve into higher states of consciousness, into unconditional love. See, God is unconditional love. That's all that God is. And that's the energy that's inside of us, is our connection to each other. It's the energy that the universe is made up of. It's the vibration of the universe. So again, you have the universe inside of you, and the universe always conspires to bring you what you need to help you grow, to help you evolve. So we do want to know, obviously, why a person does what they do, and what they're going to do. That's really um, why we listen to card readings. But understanding allows us to not take things personally, to not own the issue. Now, if you're interested in winning a free psychic soul reading with me, all you need to do is, again, do those three things to enter that I mentioned before. And all readings are done live stream. This way, there's no, problems. And I believe in spiritual law, meaning what's best for everyone. So, not just best for me or best for the person that gets the reading, but anyone that lands on the video, because we all learn. Again, this reading is a general message, but so many people are going to resonate with it because that's the way it works. All right. I know that because I wouldn't be here. Like I said, spirit wouldn't have brought me to this place right now unless the message wasn't meant to be heard. Okay, unstructured, first card out. Now, it's funny. I feel like you are working with somebody that the job requires both of you to not be structured. So maybe you're both artists of some sort. And an artist could be anything from an influencer to a painter to a singer to an entertainer. So understand that that's a wide range of people. And so when it's unstructured walk, It's a walk that you have with spirit because spirit works through you, through God, intuition, inner knowing, but he also works through the environment. Like I said, the universe is spirit because, again, spirit's ubiquitous. We don't see it. It's a consciousness. We too are a consciousness. We're just in physical form to learn. And so you're on a spiritual path, one that you're an artist and you're working with someone that's an artist and they don't feel comfortable in the unstructured. They feel like they don't know anything and it's triggering them to feel lack and limitation. And I feel as if you're comfortable, Virgo, with the unstructuredness of it because Virgos tend to be very introverted. They're very intuitive. They're very sensitive. They think about things. They look at every single detail of a situation. And that makes them wiser. It might make them slower. They might be seen as the squeaky wheel. So, the thing that a lot of Virgos have to get over is feeling that they're an inconvenience, feeling that their opinion is a bother. Again, asserting themselves, setting appropriate boundaries where I feel like you're working with someone that is triggering you to have to do this, but understand they're doing it because they don't feel comfortable in their unfoldment process. And if we're trying to do what everyone else does, we're not in our unfoldment process. Understand that because, again, our unfoldment process is what intuitively we're drawn to, where we feed our energy, and that's different for everyone. Elitist. So they're again perceiving you as being a higher state of consciousness, a higher coming from a place of knowing more, having more, um, having more people, having more resources. So it's again, that's not uncommon. If we are insecure, then we're going to be triggered to look and feel. So I feel like this is happening right now. And this could also be happening with not just a person that you work with. This could actually be what's happening with a person that what their intention is, not what their intention is, what they feel deep within themselves. So you're connected to someone that perceives you as, again, being better than them because you've mastered the art of life. And the art of life is to create yourself, to find yourself, to be like childlike, that there are no rules if there's no structure. But again, the person that is perceiving you is seeing that things are just come so easy for you. They're not seeing that you too have had to find your process. They haven't found their process. So again, they're feeling insecure and they're putting you up on a pedestal. And I also feel like there's people around you in work. So it's again, you're karmically being bombarded by people that wanted to see you a certain way and now they have to see you another way. So remember when we show someone something different, we're changing their reality because they have to look at themselves. And most people don't want to look at themselves. They don't want to do that. They'd rather project. And when a person projects, it means that they're wounded. But they, again, in order to clear themselves, the spirit will, you know, put that onto other people. So it would be very important, Virgo, for you to be able to set boundaries. What's appropriate, what's not, what's going to make you feel comfortable, what doesn't, to make sure that you put time where you're going to be celebrated, where you're going to be uplifted, instead of where someone's going to make you try and dim your light because they're not comfortable with your success, with the fact that you're finding yourself. You're in your own lane. This is what happens when people don't stay in their lane. Stay in your lane is what you're going to need to say to, a lot of people, because a lot of people are going to be judging because how do you have this? Why do you have this? And part of this is because they treated you so bad. So remember, God always, 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 always lifts a person up, gifts them, helps create them in front of their enemies. They purpose, because it's not girl or boy, it always does that. again, so that those people will take a good look at themselves and have to humble themselves. They don't want to do this. So they're again perceiving you like, again, like, oh, you're above it. And a little bit of admiration, but a lot of jealousy, really, a lot of jealousy. Clear karmic programs of intolerance. And this is really rare, but two came out, see? So again, they're narrow minded because, again, of their wounds. And they really need to clear programs of intolerance. And that would be done by, let's find out, let's use a different deck. How do we deal with this energy? Especially if we're sensitive, right? I mean, it's like, I feel like I'm doing something wrong when you know that you're not doing anything wrong. It's just you're dealing with negative people. They're narrow-minded because they need to clear programs of what's intolerant to them, and what is intolerant to us is what's not honoring our spirit. So we may not even realize that we're holding ourselves back. That's the people that are around you. That's what they have to become. You, Virgo, need to again clear programs of people and situations and expectations of things that really don't sit well with you. Again, people that don't celebrate you, people that make you dim your light, people that again make you ignore your feelings. No. Again, you may also be going through that because it's a karmic program where at one point in time you felt that you weren't deserving. So now you're being brought into this karmic situation to have it play out, but you need to take action. And you're going to need to take action where you're very grounded and you're very diplomatic and you don't respond emotionally, almost like detached. And that could be a challenge, especially if you're a sensitive person, like I've been saying. So defend, see, look, defend. So that is I said, what is the message? And defend what's yours. Defend your spiritual sovereignty, which is you're allowed to create your life. Now, if something becomes unbearable, that's not what I'm saying, that to stay in unjust situations. But what I'm saying is, if there's a lot of little passive aggressive behavior and stuff, then it's going to be what you focus on. But it's also about setting boundaries, like I said, because people don't feel comfortable with the fact that you're evolving, that you're moving on, that their perception of you is changing. They have to look at you better, which means that they had to really at one time treat you better because there's no explanation, like in their mind, why all of a sudden you have what you have. They because they're not you. They did not embody the work or the time or the effort. They don't have the capacity to love anything that deep. See, when we're on our soul path, that's what we're doing. We're on a soul walk. We're with God. Really, a soul walk is one that is going to expose every single wound, every single shadow, because we're going to be brought to situations and experiences that are going to expose them in order for us to heal. Because when we have these shadows, what it's saying is that we don't believe that we're entitled to love. But the truth of the matter is that we do. So when you defend, yourself, what you're doing is you're defending where you're putting your time, where you're putting your energy, how you're letting a person affect you. Not really defend, because you don't really need to do that when we're in the workforce and when we're dealing with adults and we're in the real world. We're dealing with passive aggressive people. We're dealing with people on all different levels of consciousness and people that are not healed. So again, all through this reading, it's telling you you have to clear what's intolerant. And right now, it would be defending what is your peace of mind, but also whatever you're creating. Because I feel like it's what you do for a living. It's because you're seen. It's because you're comfortable. It's because people perceive you as being very comfortable, beautiful, having it all together. It triggers them. to, again, look at their wounds, and people don't volunteer to do that. So that's number one, defend. Trust that there's God. Trust that you're not alone, that God lives inside of you, and God's not going to let anyone take what's yours. That's a promise. God will make a way where there is no way, and nothing can stop you. Oh, we'll get scared. And if we get too scared, then our own behaviorisms and actions are going to, again, block us from manifesting what we're trying to manifest. Because, again, there's fear there. So, again, you can't hold fear. You have to be clear of energetic imbalances. And energetic imbalances would be emotions and thoughts that are out of alignment with the laws of God, the laws of love, and the laws of nature. So they're a little jealous, but they admire you, in short. But all that is why. And you also have people around you that are also being triggered. So again, you're going to defend, and you're going to trust that God is not going to let anyone take what's yours. So you might want to do a spiritual ritual every day of prayer. Talk to God throughout the day if that's what you need to do. Do the Silver Ultra method. I find that helps me get into the deepest state of relaxation. That's where you connect to your higher self in those quiet moments, and you'll get divine information, and you'll also feel very at peace, because again, God's always with you through the gift of the Holy Spirit. So let's see what else, because now that we know the spiritual issues, we want to know, like, again, what. Let's get to the good stuff, right? Like, let's get to the good stuff. I'm going to use this deck, the Hidden Truth. What are they hiding? What's their intention? Their intention. I love you. Well, that's how they feel. So it's, again, I do believe that this is a soulmate twin flame relationship. Remember, our relationships make us change. They make us heal. They make us grow. Love, unconditional love, makes us do things that we normally wouldn't do. That's why women that don't love themselves, they wind up having children at very young ages, and a lot of times they fall in love with that baby. They're the best mother ever, and it's because they couldn't love themselves. So in having that baby, they learn to love. That's really a broken healer. So again, your person is a little bit of a broken healer. I feel like they're very sensitive, and they are getting triggered, but they admire you. So they need to raise their vibration. They need to step into the truth of who they are, and they don't know how. It's time for me to heal now. Again, so they're in a healing phase, and that's what I felt. I felt like they're not on your vibration. So if, again, your presence and how you go through life has not only made them fall in love with you, but has made them say, I need to fix up my life. I need to fix my life. And that's huge. Let's use a different deck. What other information? I mean, those are pretty great things, but let's see. This was just a fling. They made you feel like it was just a fling. Again, there was a part of them that was a player, and they just, again, made you feel like that it was just a fling, that it was insignificant. I feel like your person's not emotionally intelligent. They're not comfortable in their feelings, which is another reason why they're not vibing high, because, intuitively, our emotions tell us a lot. Energetically, they tell us a lot. When you are a highly sensitive person, as I said that your person is, well, then, and they're not healed, well, then everything that they're reading is through distorted perceptions, and their actions are not going to be good. So I feel like even though that they had really strong feelings for you, they felt like, oh, I want you to feel like it's not that deep, that I don't need anyone. They like that player, bad boy, bad girl, non-committal type energy, because as to protect their heart, which again was why they're on a low vibration, and they need to heal, because they're not even seeing themselves through the proper. We can see when we try to create this mask, this persona, which isn't really who they are. long distance. So it's again, I feel like if even if they're not that far, they feel emotionally far from you. And that's because I feel like you had to set boundaries with this person. And this person isn't around you because they're doing work on themselves. They're healing themselves. It's time for healing. They know that they can't come back into your life unless they're healed, is what I'm feeling. But the distance is making them feel very uncomfortable, giving them a lot of anxiety, triggering their fear of abandonment. They already have that. That's a wound within inside of them, which is again why they're not vibing as high as they should. They're a little too codependent in past relationships where they always have to also elevate themselves so that the person's giving more because again they're really insecure, so they come across arrogant. So it's again we can see how these wounds are manifested out as very low vibration character traits, unhealthy habits and behaviors. And so we know that because, again, if we're suppressing our emotions and our energies, well, then again, it's usually through addictions. So I'm feeling like they're drinking a lot, they're escaping because this is a lot. Again, you detached and in detaching from them, they've had to look at that themselves and they fell in love with you. They did. They usually, I think they didn't think that they could fall in love. And trauma will make us feel that way. But understand no one can control unconditional love, and a soulmate twin flame relationship is all about unconditional love. It's that two people come together that have opposite gifts, and their wounds are opposite usually. They have strengths where the other doesn't, and they complement each other and they help heal each other. And then there's this intense chemistry and this intense connection that first happens in the 3D, and there's always a runner and a chaser, but the unconditional love is the fact that we can't break it, we can't manipulate it, we can't control it because that's God and we're not separate from God. And so we don't recognize it sometimes within ourselves. That's where we're blocked, but we recognize it in someone else and we're drawn to that person because they have the gifts. But really, if that person's not on the same vibration, they're going to use their gifts to not really treat you that well. And because it's again they again still need to elevate themselves, they still have traumas, they still have to look at their behaviorisms, so they have to first get past this, the unhealthy habits and behaviorisms, in order to do that, and and do the work. So I mean, it could be that the person is that a soulmate twin flame, but they just never rise to the occasion. Spiritual awakening, but they will. But they will. Because spiritual awakening is all about like that there's tower moments. And people think tower is bad, but really the issue is that that can't stay the way that it's been going. And because once you fall in love with someone, you can't just shut it off. Again, you can't manipulate it, you can't control it. So that's why your person, again, is freaking out because they're like, I don't understand what this is. Why, what is this? Why does this person have control over me? Why? So I guess it's going to pull the last card out to see again what's going on here. Like, what's the end of the story? Because we know that this person needs to do healing, and at least they are, thank God. But let's see. I can't do this job. I swear to God, you challenge me in ways that make me grow, even though it's difficult. I know it's right. I know it's backwards, but you can see it. Or it's backwards to me. Because it's reflecting. So again, like a mirror. So anyway, you see, it's the challenge. The challenge is it's again we grow and we heal again. We are drawn to people that help us grow, and the unconditional love where we can't walk away from it. It's like I can't live with them and I can't live without them. Well, That's what this is. This is a soulmate twin flame where this person was forced to elevate. They didn't want to elevate. They wanted to control it, it looks like, for a long time. But tower moments, life isn't working. They realize they have to again grow and heal. I'm going to leave it there, Virgo. You let me know whether you resonated with this. And if you did, again, like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. And that comment, if you want to win a reading with me, is going to be healer. Okay, just the word healer in the comment bar. Okay, so do those 3 things. That'll automatically get you into enter winning a free reading with me. All right, I'll see you all next time. Bye, Virgo.